Welcome to this lesson where I'm gonna talk to you about the word tilt. All right, I'm gonna talk to you about three things in this lesson. Tilt equals loss of control. Tilt comes from emotional spikes, and tilt leads to account damage. So the word tilt is being thrown around a lot in the trading space, and I want to just Google it for you and define the word tilt. Tilt is a poker term for a state of mental or emotional confusion or frustration in which a player adapts a suboptimal strategy, usually resulting in the player becoming overly aggressive. What is the meaning of word tilt? To cause to lean, incline, slope, or slant, right? You'll tilt over, like the Tower of Pisa is tilting, right? So the definition has two meanings. Tilting is that it almost feels like, if you haven't been through a tilt before, it almost feels like somebody else is driving the car and you're in loss of control. And the more you want to take control and bring the control back, is the more tilt the more you start losing control. It's like quicksand. If you're standing in quicksand and you want to move and swim out of the quicksand, the more you sink. That's the thing. When you take one loss with trading, you want to take another trade to gain back that loss, and you lose even more, and then you want to gain back that loss, and then you lose even more, and you you go down into the quicksand until you blow up. That's what tilt is doing with you. And that's why I'm saying to people, don't go in or don't start with your own money. Start with a demo account, use that, try that. Even some people even lose or tilt on a demo account because they can't stand losing. So it's a good way to like learn your behavior through tilting. And most people don't know this until they've been through it. It's like I don't know even what happened. It was like I was watching myself taking trades and I couldn't stop myself. That's a dangerous place to be in, especially with your own money, because we all have responsibilities and we all have things to do with the money, and we don't want to lose it. So, tilt, loss of control. You stop following your rules. This is what happens. You have rules, you have a trading plan, you have a checklist. You stop following all those go out of the window, unfortunately. You stop following your rules. You enter trades without confirmation. You just jump into trades. You don't know what's happening. You're removing your stop loss. You're breaking the entire system that you've created because you're tilting. You're losing control because of the fire. There's a fire emoji because of the emotions are taking over. You're losing control. And the thing is, that's the scary part. You know that you're doing a mistake. You know that it's something wrong that's happening, but you still can't stop it. All right, tilt comes from emotional spikes. Tilt usually often happens after a loss. You want it back. You want a revenge trade. You lost a trade. You lost $100. You want to go back into the market. You put in another $100. You lose that, and then you go in with $200 and you lose that, and it just spirals out of control. After a win, most people don't talk about this, but after you make a big win, those are usually being overconfident. Usually the biggest losses happen after a big win because you feel invincible. You feel like you're on top of the world. You feel unstoppable. You feel like nobody can touch you because you just made $500 from the market. But it's a part of the game. It's not about winning the money. It's about keeping it and staying steady. This usually happens to beginners. Why? Because they have been in a losing streak or losses and they haven't figured trading out for so long. And after they make one or two or three wins, they feel unstoppable because they know that this is a balance between the two. There's a balance, not they know, there's a balance between the two. Losses, that's the thing I want to instill in you. Losses does not matter and wins does not matter. It's the process, it's the green days that matters. The good decision making that you're doing on a daily basis that matters. Both can push you out of your system. That's the real truth. Tilt leads to account damage. That's what it does. One bad trade becomes three, three bad trades becomes five, five bad trades becomes a blown account. Risk increases without thinking. The counterintuitive here is when you risk $100 and you lose that, you should drop down to the half of the risk until you get the initial risk that you started with, which is $100 back. Because if you risk 50% of your money, you need to gain 100% of your money back to to come back to break even. Not the opposite. Not if you risk $100, you lose $100, you double it to 200, and then you double that. If you lose that, it doesn't work. That it breaks down your equity curve even more. You give back days or weeks and minutes. That's if you've been through this. It's really excuse me. You trade, right, for a week or two or three. You feel like you're on top of the world. You made $5,000 on these three, and you feel like you're figure it out. I've figured out trading. I know what's good for me. I'm a millionaire. You know, look, mom, I've made it. Right? I'm joking about this because this had happened to me, right? And then one day comes and you blow all of it in one trade because you over tilt. You couldn't stop yourself. I couldn't stop myself. It feels like somebody else is watching and I'm seeing myself driving the car and I can't stop myself. So I give back all of my progress that I've done for 3 weeks in one day, in 1 minute, in one trade, right? That's a dangerous place to be. So, how do we fix those things? How do we deal with tilt? We deal with tilt by having a hard stop rule. After two losses, I stop trading. Basically, is what I'm saying is following your trading plan. When I reduce risk immediately, I reduce risk immediately after a loss. I take a loss, I go back to minimum risk. I step away from the charts 5 to 10 minutes minimum after I'm taking a loss. So if the market just stopped me out, I'm taking a 5 minute break. I'm going to the bathroom, I'm drinking some water, I'm doing some stretches and breathing exercises to get myself back even keeled. How to also deal with tilt is to put a timer. I have a timer right here. You can put a timer for 45 minutes, and after the timer rings, it just pops up on your screen and it stops you by just redirecting your brain. Okay, you know what? I'm inside of here, I'm inside of the trade. I need to be focused. I'm focused here on what I'm doing because I don't want to lose control. And also, last but not least, follow your checklist strictly. If you don't have a checklist, there is no trade to take. You don't sit next to the market because it's a dangerous place to be. It's a dangerous place to be to trade just randomly. You come to the market and you know what? Let me just jump into this and see what happens. If you don't have a checklist or something to follow, you leave. That is the reason why I don't trade on Fridays. Because I don't trade on Fridays, not just because it's Friday, just because it's on Fridays. I'm more relaxed. I'm more casual. And when I'm more relaxed and casual, I don't deal with tilt that good because I'm almost opening the door for tilt to come into the market or come into my decision making and makes me be more free with the risk, which is dangerous to be. Because when we're being more free with the risk, we start risking $100, $200, $500. We keep losing, and we lost all the progress that we made the entire week because of one day or one trade. And if you can't do those things, we need to have something that blocks us out. And this is something that I've been telling so many people about is the cold turkey blocker. If you haven't tried the cold turkey blocker, use it. This is what the cold turkey blocker does. It blocks you out. You write the name of the application as TradingView or your VT Market or your broker from that's downloaded inside of the computer of yours, And as soon as you feel that you're about to tilt, or as soon as you've taken two trades and you're following your plan, you block yourself out. You press on off and you block yourself out for an hour or two. So it forces you to leave the market. You can't open up the application because you've already blocked yourself. You can't open up the block. You can't open up the block until the time frame continues. And this eliminates the need to make mistakes. This eliminates the need to re-enter the trade, over leverage, go inside and revenge trade and lose more money. And the first thing that you need to do before you tilt is it's a good way to find where it happens. The moment before you're tilting. What happened before? It's a good way to identify. That's the first thing. Good way to identify what happened before you tilted. So I lost one trade and I lost another one and I lost another one. And this is the scenario. When this happens, be extra cautious and write it down and have it memorized that you know in the future so you can change your behavior to not tilt anymore. And all these things are good. Cold turkey blocker, all the how to deal with tilt and stop losses and rules and how to make those things correctly. And the thing that's a bit the most important for me is this one. You know, it has to matter to you. It has to matter to you because tilt blows account, makes you lose all your money, makes you destroy your life with money because you can't control your emotions after a loss. And if it doesn't matter to you, if it matters to you, you find a way to stop it. You find a way to stop yourself. Tilt is a fight between you and you. We all have different sizes of egos, right? But it has to matter to you more than the trade itself. So I have pictures of my family members here. My wife is there. Me and my wife, my kids is there. I have things that remind me of something more important than trading. So something more important for me to think about so I don't tilt. So I've come to the stage. Sometimes I use the cold turkey blocker, which is this software right here, cold turkey block that I bought. So it has to matter to you. When it matters to you that much, you find a way to deal with your tilt. All right, I talked about tilt and I talked about three things inside of this lesson. Tilt starts before the trade. The danger is in that moment. And control comes from removing the action. When you remove the action, like blocking yourself out, you can't fail anymore because you've blocked yourself out already. So lesson check-in. Describe the last time you felt the moment before entering a trade you knew you shouldn't. What did it feel like and what did you do? I'm interested in knowing this. So feel free to comment it in the comment section below. And as always, if you liked this lesson, feel free to follow me along on YouTube, subscribe over there, and on Instagram. And if you haven't done it already, join the Skool community. I talk to you there, and I see you on the next lesson. Have a great day.